Hi everyone, welcome to Treforest GP. I'm accompanied by Treforest residents Charlotte, Michelle, and Roger. So, for introduction, I want to talk about the weather today. It's been really nice. I have my shorts. Everyone has their short sleeves out. Just one layer. Really comfortable. So moving on.
Suspiciously warm given Wales.
For the next whole week as well, following.
Usually last year this time is like a bit cold still.
Yeah, people were still wearing coats.
We're so blessed.
Maybe they'll
Finally
next week, we never know next week.
No, what do you call it? Still warm. Sun, perfect for hiking. So my name is Nick. I had this idea of having a podcast just to talk about it since we all are enthusiasts of F1. And Tref GP is just a spin on Treforest. One day we're going to have a Treforest GP here, but it's never going to happen. Have a name.
We can dream.
We can dream.
Wait, does uni have like a...
They have the F1 racing team, it's for uni. And it's really weird, like the cars are also like cramped and small.
Is it open to like outsiders or like, other students or just engineering?
No, just engineering.
So there was a companionship program with engineering recently where you can make your own projects, so there might be a way to loop into it.
But I think we'll be quite busy.
True.
I forgot to record.
We know what we're on about now.
Wait, does the thing record our voice?
It will have just recorded the
but
video.
the quality is not that good because the microphones are just these two dots in front.
Okay,
so,
sure.
Sorry.
You didn't put me in front.
Okay. But it's okay, I'll just use the... Wait. 3, 2... I'll just use the sound from now on. I'll just edit it. If I ever edit it. Okay, so just to introduce, Roger, could you just introduce yourself? Like, are you a student?
Alright, my name is Roger. I'm currently in year 2 doing my chiropractic course. Yep. And also support the most hated team. Support Red Bull. It's only because of Perez at first, but then you have.
It's not that hated, it's just toxic.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Not hated, just looked down on.
Michelle?
I'm Michelle and I'm studying year 3 chiropractic and I like Carlos Sainz. Yeah, basically he's a good guy and his face,
Both Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
I'm Charlotte, I study international wildlife biology and I quite like the McLaren team.
Okay.
I like the drama. It's entertaining.
Quite obvious if you could see through a camera. I am supporting McLaren and I'm supporting Norris. Currently leading the World Championship. Hopefully won't get snatched by Max soon.
I don't think so. I don't think so there's a chance for Max to stay there.
They're 10 points away though.
Yeah, but their car is like, they didn't even focus like that much on this year's car. They already focused on the next season.
Yeah,
True.
They're just giving up. The McLaren is too fast. McLaren just will let them have it.
Do you think it's a one-hit season for McLaren?
Oh, definitely. For the constructors, yes. For the drivers, we'll see. Okay, so talking about the big news, unless you're living under a rock, you would know that Yuki has been transferred to Red Bull and Liam Lawson has taken his place in the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls.
RB.
So, did you guys expect this to happen this soon?
Not really.
Not this soon, but it wasn't necessarily surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of obvious that they're gonna replace Liam, but then not Yuki taking his place. That's not to say shocking. It's kind of fast.
Yeah, especially when he lost that opportunity as well, and then suddenly they just they took the knife out, put it back. Welcome back. You're doing it all over again. But,
I mean, it's only two GP so far, and I think it's a bit, quite hurtful to see,
It is, yeah.
It's quite
I wonder how Liam feels.
Probably not great.
Great.
He's at a bit of a low point, I think.
I mean, no one would want that, right?
Yeah.
Just get kicked out, basically.
You get 2 chances for that opportunity, and they've just gone, no, we're not interested. But it's not surprising necessarily either from a publicity stunt point of view as well, because everybody's talking about it now. Yeah. Everyone's aware of it. Everyone's kind of going, oh, how is Liam? Look at Yuki's taken that position. That gains traction. That provides more profit for the racers. So you can kind of see why they did it as well.
There's nothing to lose for Red Bull, because if Liam keeps on with this, then no chance of fighting. At the same time, we're kind of sorry for Liam. We are quite proud for Yuki, right?
Yeah,
that
he's
5 years in 5 years in the RB team, and the start of the season he wasn't chosen.
Correct.
And you could see he was kind of gutted about it as well. So it's in a way it's a kind of a bittersweet victory. Like yes for Yuki, but then kind of Liam just going, oh.
Did you think he deserved this swap, Liam?
I think it's a bit harsh after 2 races.
Yeah, I feel like he did maybe 2 more races. If you have just like letting,
But I think the timing as well, Japan, just to have Honda have their own driver in.
Did you get any? I mean, he did get races in F1 right before this. Like, did he replace anyone in F1?
Yeah, 2023 he replaced Daniel Ricciardo when he had a wrist injury.
Just 1 race.
No, for like 6 I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
but he did pretty well, I think. So I like. He did get points. I remember like 10th place or something.
Right.
He was like, I think the youngest driver, like one of the youngest drivers to get points. Yeah. Or being replaced after being replaced.
Yeah. It was a really messy season, 2023. It was De Vries, and then Danny Rick, and then he got a wrist injury in Netherlands, and then back to Liam Lawson, and then I think back to Danny Rick again.
It was a bit unreal.
Yeah, he had 3 different teammates in 2023. Crazy.
He's looking for some consistency now.
Yeah.
How do you think Yuki's gonna perform like?
Oh, he's been fantastic. Have you seen the free practices?
Yeah, no, I mean like with the communication part, like you think he's gonna be the same or?
He's always been sassy, like China.
Sassy, I wouldn't put sassy. He's always been rude.
Blunt. Let's go with blunt.
Yeah. What was he talking about? He had the front wing damage, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, pop, and then he was like, "Oh, Yuki, we're gonna solve the front wing. We have front wing damage." He's like,
even
front wing damage for what?
Yeah, seen that clip.
Yeah, bounced back at the radio and the engineer. He is blunt. Yeah, but that's how Red Bull drivers are, right?
I think that will suit them quite well, given who's already in the team of Red Bull. I think they'll do just fine.
Do you think you can get along with Max?
I think there might be a little bit of competition.
I
think that they're both quite strong characters.
I feel like if they favor Max more, they favor Max more, and then he'll start to like complain and stuff.
Yeah, he did share to. It was leaked that he shared his opinion to the team, right? He said that he wasn't happy, and then after that, when the fact that it got leaked, he said that, I share everything with the team, but not necessarily everything being shared with the team has to be shared to the public. So
that might be an extra little bit of conflict if you took William's spot. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, okay. We'll talk about the other news, which is Cadillac officially joining as the F1's 11th team for next year. I remember Alani saying that there wasn't really any regulation stopping how many, like the amount of teams that can join. It can be like 12, 13, 14.
The main thing that was stopping them was the fact that whenever a race is run, the finances get separated into the teams, so they all get a cut from that. So if you add another team, they technically reduce the amount of profit they get, which then kind of links back into the legislation that they had kind of going on about it for a while, and why automotive was kind of just going back and forth, because it meant that they were like, no, we're getting less pay, we don't want another team, but then going, but we can give more money by sponsoring it. So it kind of, American automotives kind of had to start weighing in a bit, and
it's a balance.
They've mentioned an anti-dilution fee to try and, I think, mitigate it, but whether or not that's really going to help, who knows?
Is there an 11th team in the past? Do you know?
I think so. BMW was in like a long time ago.
It was with Sauber, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I can't remember. I've just started off
But
watching.
I think so 11 thing. Maybe like back in those days, like when they started F1, just like needing that a lot of teams.
when there wasn't any safety barriers.
Yeah, safety went straight out the window.
No barriers. So regarding Cadillac joining as a new team, which two drivers would you want to see in the team next year?
I'd like to see Honey Badger back in.
Yeah. Michelle?
Daniel Ricciardo.
Daniel Ricciardo as well?
Generally, Badger is a good idea. I did recently hear some news discussing Perez as well, because they want someone experienced and someone American, because the American automotives, which I found quite amusing. Like, right, so that implies one of them has got experience and one of them hasn't.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting take, but they've kind of just gone, we're not sure, but given how America's going at the moment, I think they've got a lot to kind of decide. There's nothing they've really leaked or set in stone, but they have made it clear that they want an experienced driver.
What about the new and upcoming ones? Do you think they'll be having like a new, like how would they pair the drivers? Would they be two experienced ones or like a new and like how Kickstarter has Hülkenberg and Gabriel, the F2 champion?
I think so. If they play it safe, they won't want to risk it getting like new, because they want to show that they're in for it, like, so they wouldn't. I think so. They might not risk taking young drivers yet.
Yeah, definitely at least one experienced, and then maybe one young, or pushing it for two to kind of guarantee that their place is recognised.
Like what happened with McLaren, where they have like Zach Brown, the team boss. He has been advocating for the team, saying that they have the best driver lineup: Oscar Piastri and Norris. But both of them are new blood actually.
Yes.
Yeah, like relatively new. So like in your opinion, what do you think would be the ideal pairing, regardless of teams or drivers?
I would say one experience. Maybe
at least one.
At least one experience.
So not two new blood.
No,
like Haas.
For starting, because I mean McLaren, they started with like Sainz and all, then Norris took over,
kind of like coaching him.
Like following up the steps. I think so. They won't take two new bloods. Like,
I think the coaching concept would be quite good if they took one that has potential that they could see potentially signing a longer contract and having one experienced person to kind of coach them a little bit into the reins, because that would imply they're serious about it and it shows the long-term consideration as well.
And also like if you put two new drivers in, they always be going to be like butting heads and all, like friction and all. They won't learn anything from the driver because like, they think, I'm better than you and better than that. Like you see like Sainz and Norris last time, always Norris wants to prove himself better than Sainz, but he also like follow whatever he does and like take advice and stuff like that. Because he don't really complain that much, like, why do I need to give way to like Sainz?
Following team orders.
Because he knows like, he has more experience, obviously he knows what he's doing. He can't like say much.
Basically racing bulls, where you always have like new drivers. Okay. And talking about new drivers, what do you guys think about the rookies so far? So we have quite a lot this year. We have Oliver Bevan for Haas, Kimi Antonelli, the golden Mercedes boy that Toto Wolff really loves. Jack Doohan. Fortunately, he had a crash. Have you seen the crash?
Oh no, I didn't
see too. Like spun off when the whole car decimated. No,
incorrect.
So Jack Doohan for Alpine, not doing too good.
Gabriel
Grotto for Kickstarter, and then
Alonso.
What?
Alonso.
Oh yeah, Alonso. Starting his 40th season as a rookie. And so Isaac Hajar, the French. Also,
he's got a lot of confidence, that guy. I think it's going to be quite interesting how that team is now going to operate, because it's going to be Liam and him, who
both very angsty.
Yeah, they're both quite opinionated. I think, especially with things like when Isaac had that clip, and he just kind of went, "It's fine, you can fix it."
With who? Yeah, was it?
He had during the hairpin. He clipped it,
Oh.
And he just went, it's
I
fine.
think I've seen that. Contact. Contact. Like minor contact. And then
it was minor contact, but he's just kind of, he seemed very calm
and
collected. He's like, it's fine. So it'll be interesting to see, is that team going to take any risks? Or are they going to play it steady because they've got two rookies now? How is that going to change the positioning?
Then,
talking about Badman, he surprised me the last race.
Yeah.
I feel like he deserved the driver of the day, to be honest. Like,
yeah, he was like overtaking Chow.
Yeah, but he actually overtook a lot. Like he like didn't give up. Like a lot of people in his place at that time were just like, oh no man, just like play safe, play safe this race, don't crash and stuff. But he actually pushed, he overtook.
It was fun. It was quite funny when he had an interview. He was quite sorry about saying Shell. He was quite embarrassed about it.
It was great though.
It was great, yeah, it's good personality. But then Ocon came over and he was like, oh, Shell, who did you overtook? Oh, one of the Alpine. Oh, yeah, you can see the tension.
It's good to see like this kind of things going on. It's like not boring, like
banter.
There's a good banter around.
Yeah. Then talking about banter, talking about who's your favorite, personality-wise, who's your favorite rookie driver? Personality-wise, not like performance.
Can't say that much because like haven't seen them really like.
But so far, I think it's quite early to tell.
Yeah, it's really early because they're still like
Okay.
They don't say much in the interview.
Who are you rooting for?
Bevan.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I feel like I see he like has a bright future. Like he might go to a better team next year. I would not say he's not in a better team now. Like he has chance like to
Cadillac might just go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you never know. Like
they could sign.
They could sign him as like a rookie driver, and then they get someone experienced like maybe I don't know Perez or Ricardo.
Michelle?
I mean, I like Kimi.
Kimi,
yeah.
Any reason?
It's just like he drank pretty well, I would say. And but I didn't follow about rookie quite a lot. So.
Kimi has been performing really well in the city. Like he had a crash last year during FP, but so far smooth. Smooth sailing.
I say it's been quite an impressive turnaround.
Yeah.
He seemed to really have come focused
Zoned
in. I know what I need to do.
Achieve,
Yeah.
It's always been the points. Yeah. And usually.
Similarly with Kimi, because he's done this rotation of suddenly becoming quite focused in, but it's also quite early to tell as well. So they might. We don't know the full character of them yet. So it'd be nice to see how they grow, what they turn into, who they're going to fight around with, who they're going to have fun with.
I think my favorite rookie would be Alonso still.
He always has a soft spot for him.
It's quite sad for him. He hasn't had a proper race start. He's been disqualified. He crashed in Australia, and then China, his engine went on fire, something like that. And then this will be hopefully his first actual proper start. Hopefully he finishes.
It's quite sad to see as well, because you can see he wants to do well. You can see he's got that excitement to do it, but you can also see his frustration of every time that chance is just completely ripped away.
The fact that he's been still in F1 for so many years now.
Yeah. He needs a break.
What do you guys think about the impact on that the rookies have on this season so far? So I know it's still maybe 2 races, it's still early, but
I mean, from a publicity point, it seems to be going quite well, especially with the whole Liam being moved is a massive publicity stuff. So it's gained a lot of traction, and I think a lot of people are now looking more into the F1 kind of like who are the rookies, who are the new people. But it's also nice to see there's a couple of them who you can really see want this, want to do well, want to gain that experience. They're really serious about it, and then also there's some joking, there's some banter. It's a nice balance.
Yeah, definitely more relatable. They've been. I think Damon is 05, so he's younger than all of us. And then Kimi is
he's doing better than all of us financially.
All the other drivers,
Just throwing away thousands of pounds on degrees and just making hundreds, thousands.
Yes, she's a good future. And then Kimi is like 18, so he's 07.
Yeah, Kimi's young.
No, 19, I thought 19.
No, he's 18. He's the youngest driver before Max to score points. Max scored points when he was. It's kind of cheap. Max scored points when he was 17 years old and 100 few days, 200 days, but still 17. Yeah, it's crazy to think about. Yeah, definitely more relatable, to join new audiences for F1.
I think definitely for young audiences, people are getting more interested because there's people that they can relate to.
Yes, exactly. And how the content that they've been pouring out, all the TikToks
and the social media and just in general, they're trying to get to the masses of our kind of age and even younger younger as well, and you can see them really trying, and it is working to a degree.
Speaking of Max, haven't seen him really like pushed in this season. Like there's like no fighting spirit in him like anymore. I feel like the fire is gone.
He's just quite passively sassy.
Yeah, he's not like the previous race, like previous seasons, like how like.
I think he's become quietly confident of like, no one can touch me.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm completely safe.
Would you be surprised if he retired next season? Like, would you be surprised? Because he has a boy coming along, right?
I'm surprised actually. Like,
I don't know, especially with the boy coming along, potentially. Because especially when family gets involved, it can change you considerably. And, F1 driver, you earn a fair amount of money. So it would make sense in a way. But I can also see why necessarily he might not want to take as many risks as well if he's becoming a parent. Because the last thing you want is an accident before you have a kid. So that might also be.
I wouldn't be surprised if he take a. Not say a break. Maybe he said he retires, then he comes back. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back. He's so young.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he's 29.
Yeah, he's still really young. Like, never know if I say on retiring now, but then like maybe after 2 seasons he might be back. Yeah.
Parental absence. Right? Yeah. Kind of like I want to, be there for my child being born. I want to be there to raise her, make sure everything's good, and then come back into it again. Maybe. I mean, it might even be a case of he passes it on and then joins something like Cadillac, which would be completely up about. You never know. We don't know what's going on.
The whole Red Bull situation, like they're using this like Verstappen paradox. If Verstappen were to leave, like who's going to replace him? There's no one to replace him.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
But in a way, that then opens it up for everybody. Kind of like, suddenly we can do this a little more. We can get there a little more.
Right to Red Bull.
No, it's like
in position-wise. It's not in the equation anymore.
Oh.
So they wouldn't like take Red Bull seriously as last time, They're like, Verstappen not there and stuff.
Yeah, they can take more risks. They can be a little more adventurous with it because they're like, Verstappen's not here. We can go for it.
You're probably thinking like, they have to bring a new driver in, like have to like get used to the new driver, so they won't even bother with Red Bull anymore.
Yeah.
And also like their leading car designer and engineering.
They've all left.
Yeah, all left. Yeah.
Jonathan Wheatley, Adrian Newey,
all the technical
directors, all left. Yeah.
So now I think so the only thing Verstappen, like everyone's hanging on Verstappen right now. Without him, I think so the team's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about teams. Next topic. Let's talk about McLaren first. The dynamic, because they're the leading one right now. We have.
You can see the quiet competition between the two because you can see Piastri getting more and more silently confident with himself. He's becoming less kind of willing to be that second option where he has to step back for Norris to take over. And you can see it's kind of bugging him, but you can also see Norris is getting a little nervous about it as well. They're roughing up with each other and they're not really,
In the last race, I remember like the radio comps, he was asking him to go faster, there's a bit of friction, not as friction, like a bit tension going on between them. Yeah, I mean like, it's not a bad tension, it's a good tension, because like,
it's pushing the pair of them to do better, which I think in a way position-wise certainly is going to help both of them.
Exactly.
But it's how far do you go until that becomes a problem?
Correct.
Especially if there begins things like favoritism. Piastri's contract's been extended. Does that mean they're going to start favouring Piastri because that extension's there? Is Norris going to take that personally? You don't really know because at the moment they're kind of rutting heads a bit and you can see they're quietly not happy with each other. But they're not outright publicly saying it either.
Haven't reached that stage yet. Hope it doesn't.
Just waiting to see if it cracks or not.
I remember seeing a TikTok when Norris was on the podium in Australia. They said Andreas Stella didn't show up because Andreas Stella favourites Piastri. But when Piastri won, no, this is just a rumor. But in China, when Piastri won, Andreas Stella was there with Zach Brown.
It could be just coincidence,
It could be coincidence, but the media is going to blow it up.
Exactly.
And they have access to that media resource, so you can guarantee Norris is going to read that and just go.
It's crazy the transparency they have between team radios. Is it?
Yeah.
In the regulations or?
I think so. I think it has to be that they have to be transparent because it basically for health and safety and regulations, you can't be cheating if you have the transparent costs.
True.
So that might be why. But it is also quite amusing to see that you can see the tension, you can see the team a little bit kind of going.
Speaking about tension between drivers, who do you think that has had the worst tension between amongst like both drivers like
in history? Like,
yeah, in history.
I have never watched yet so far, but I think Webber and Vettel. Because they were really close. Alonso was leading right in the last race, and then suddenly, to have Vettel win, it was kind of sour for Webber. So because Webber was really close.
Close, correct. I would say Webber and Vettel.
Yeah. That's the thing because Oscar Piastri's manager is Webber.
Yeah,
is Mark Webber.
Correct.
Yeah, the same Australian who didn't get a chance to fight for the championship.
So you can see that pettiness a little bit of he's not going to let that happen again.
He's never going to let that
happen.
He's afraid that it might happen to the young driver. He doesn't want it to happen. He's trying to protect him at the same time.
The spin-off in Australia was really unfortunate. Where he was... Norris also went to the gravel. And then, in the next turn, Norris managed to, shift it back. It's really sad for Piastri to see. Just to see Piastri.
I mean, it's F1, anything can happen,
in the rain.
Especially in the rain.
Then, do you think they'll have this fight going on, or do you think they've actually started to have sides?
I think they're going to keep going on.
I
think this is going to be a long. I think this is going to build up into a point, and then it might or might not be a problem. It's either going to get to a point where it has to be resolved, or there's going to be issues. Because especially with people that are running it behind the scenes and the drivers themselves, you can see the tensions there. It's visible through the screen. But we don't see everything that's going on either.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen behind the scenes.
From what I've seen, they're still good friends. They still hang out. They still, because at the end of the day, they're teammates. They encourage each other to
I think at the moment it's competitive, but I think there's a little bit of a on the fence of there's a difference between competitive and then getting to a point where it goes a little bit out of hand. I think at the moment they're at that competitive kind of bicker. They're trying to motivate each other because of that partnership of they are in the same team. But I think depending on how contracts are going to go and which is favoured, that competitiveness might turn sour.
But so far, still healthy.
It also depends on the team. Like how do they manage them? It's not only individual management. It's also a team how to manage. If let's say the team starts favouring one, that's it. It's going to affect the driver a lot.
That's what was really messed up last year, Hungary. They did the driver swap, although they pitted Norris first. And then if they wanted Piastri to go, Norris asked them that thing on radio. If you wanted Piastri to go first, surely you have pitted him first.
Exactly.
But why did you pit Norris?
Even there's no tension between the drivers, the team could
introduce.
They can instigate tension between them.
It was really unfortunate for them. Then people keep mentioning Piastri's first win was tainted because they had to swap positions. In Hungary. We'll see. Still a good fight. Back to Red Bull. Back to the elephant in the room. Yuki. He's been. I've went back to the statistics for the start of the season in Australia free practice. Like so far, we can only compare the free practices, right? We can't compare. Liam Lawson in the Red Bull in the free practices has never been higher than 16th place in free practices. Yuki was 10th of a second close to max. 1/10.
Which explains a little bit also why they swapped as well, because you can see.
They should have swapped him in the first place.
They should have, because it would have been fair at the least.
Exactly. They didn't do that.
They did.
What about the free practice this morning? The position.
Jack Doohan crashed, right?
So for that one is messed up.
So they didn't really place fairly. I think Liam was ahead of
5, 6
ahead of Yuki, just because of the crash, so he didn't get to do that. But I think was Yuki 10?
I think it's like 16, actually 18.
I didn't get to catch practice.
It was 3:30 a.m. Well, you been up?
No, I was doing dissertation work. Looking at rocks. A bit less exciting.
Tsunoda is at 18 for the practice, the second practice.
The first practice?
For the first practice, he got 6, I believe.
It doesn't really say anything, but
I mean, it's just the first practice.
Today will be even more interesting, and to have I think this is a lot of pressure put on Yuki.
A lot.
To have it at your home race, home audience in the Red Bull, where you haven't really driven it only in the simulators, and he did compare, right? So simulators, he didn't expect it to be that aggressive. Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see, because I think he's going to have a little bit of confidence of he's familiar with the route. He's familiar with that course. However, there's also a lot of pressure put on him, especially given that he's been put into the Red Bull team. There's significantly more pressure.
Instant,
yeah. They want like instant results, and it might get to him, like.
Especially given they just got rid of someone after 2 races. He's got 2 opportunities to show he deserves to stay in a way.
He's gonna do the same thing. If I don't perform in 2 races, I'm gonna get kicked out again.
But I don't think they'll be kicking him.
No, but there is going to be that thought in the back of Yuki's mind, I think.
Oh,
psychologically speaking, he's going to be kind of going, I can't afford to muck this up, because they can change their mind like that. So I've got to get it right.
But so far although like there's a lot of pressure, he seems to not be really letting the pressure get to him.
No,
managing really well.
I mean, like in outside, like media-wise, like
he's
calm.
Media-wise, I think he's calmly going, "It'll be fine," and then internally he's just going, "Don't panic, don't panic." So it'll be interesting to see how that translates. I think he's going to do better than last year. I think, because he seems to have. I think this is going to give him a mixture of a boost of confidence, but also a significant amount of pressure, which might fuel some adrenaline to take more risks, to potentially do something he might not normally do, which means he might go slightly higher than expected, which would be good especially for him for Red Bull, but does that then set the bar higher for an expectation of he's got to do that for every race? So it depends how he's going to play it. Is he going to play it safe to secure himself and make sure that he's like, yep, I deserve to be here, this is a good spot, or is he going to try and risk it and that may or may not go wrong?
But for him, I think he has mentioned that he really likes the Red Bull, of how it's more competitive than the Racing Bull. So, if anything, there's nothing to lose for him.
No.
All to gain. Oh, talking about Red Bull, have you guys seen the liveries for Japan Grand Prix?
Oh,
no.
This is the. They have always been doing a white bull. So this is it's actually quite hilarious because last season they were trying to fight for the constructors, so they didn't feature any liveries like for the entire. I think they only had like 2 or 3. McLaren had like 10 different liveries: the chrome livery, the Monaco Brazil livery, the yellow one, really beautiful. Yeah, but so this is the. Yeah, what do you think about with the Japan, the sun?
I like the Haas one.
Oh yeah, Haas one. They did.
So pretty.
Oh, it's the white one.
But they did like a sakura.
It was nice they incorporated the sakura, because especially seasonally, it's a nice touch.
During the spring as well. And there's also one steak. It was an April Fool's joke.
What was it?
Do you want to guess what they had as a livery?
Which steak?
Steak F1.
Sauber. Okay, Sauber.
They put Liam's name on it.
no, not that mean. No, they had a livery of a beef steak.
I get it.
The wheels in particular.
Oh yeah, the wheels.
It's like wagyu.
It's a mince, right? I think,
Marbling in the beef.
No, imagine it was
It looks cool, kind of cool to be honest. Like,
it's quite a nice design to be fair. It's quite a funny one.
Reminiscent of Alfa Romeo when they had the red and white.
Oh yeah.
But it's hilarious to look at.
They're back.
I think only 2 teams have done livery so far. Yeah, and also driver helmets. Yuki has the kabuki, the performative makeup.
Oh yeah. Who do you think had the best livery in history?
In history.
I mean, like, not to say it's so old, like maybe like 2-3 seasons back, 4 seasons back.
Livery or like special livery?
No, livery, like livery, not special livery. Like.
Okay, so 2 seasons.
Yeah, 2 seasons.
The Racing Bulls.
Racing Bulls, yeah, Racing Bull always comes out.
They have some nice ones.
Yeah. No, I mean like this season. They had the small bulls. The blue and the white. Yeah.
They think about the design, and you can see that they've thought about it well.
Yeah.
Because the shape of it, the way they've orchestrated where they want, like, it looks good.
And it just looks fast, and that's how an F1 car is supposed to look like.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you go, yeah. When you look at it, you want that feeling of adrenaline. You want to go, now that's a car. You don't want it to kind of go, it's there.
We've had an abundance of carbon fiber just to like not cheap out, just to cut down on the weight of the car.
Yeah, it makes it more lightweight.
Yeah, and to see a livery is just like, it's a treat, you know. It's just nice
to see them.
Yeah. Okay, we're coming to the end of the session, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll have a predictions. Where do you think?
Well, before we go to the predictions,
Yeah.
maybe a couple of minutes to talk about Louis and Charles. What happened in their last race? It's so unfortunate.
It wasn't their fault.
I know. If you remember, I called it earlier on. Like I told her, it's not the driver that's gonna screw up. It's the team that's gonna screw up. Like, the team actually always very.
They have a good car. They have a competitive car. They have a good driver lineup, and they fuck it up every year. Sorry, language.
It's always the team who messes things up.
It's a shame because you can see the potential that's there, and just every time the execution is completely screwed over, and you just look at it and kind of go.
It's kind of sad to see the reason why they got like disqualified. It's like it's so minor, and it's also like I can't blame the drivers at all. It's all the team management. Like how can you not like the small minor thing? How can you just like ignore that? Like
how do you not notice?
Yeah.
You know, change it before you're racing. I mean. Spending millions of pounds to be able to do this, how can you screw that up at that amount of cost?
And it wasn't even just for one driver, it was both drivers. Yeah. So no points for the entire race.
True, exactly.
Yeah, Leclerc was like a kilo heavier.
Yes.
And then Hamilton is because of the
plate down.
It was less than the credit cards with being shaved off.
I don't get it how they miss all this, like the common things.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Leclerc did perform really well
with the broken wing.
With the broken wing, exactly. Imagine he had a proper wing and like.
Yeah.
But you never know. Some might say because of the broken wing he performed well.
Yeah.
It could help the car. You never know.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But it was kind of crazy that FIA didn't make him change the car
because
it was hazardous.
It wasn't really that hazardous as like Yuki's like he was hanging on the road. His one was like not touching on the road or.
No, but it was like flying like kind of the dangling.
It was shaking.
That's why he
slightly.
I think Leclerc, he was like the whole thing just came clean off. He didn't have to worry about. So.
It's a shame.
It is, Hamilton, Leclerc. Hopefully they'll do better in Japan. So far, what are the results for FP1?
FP1. Norris is the first, Russell is second, Leclerc is third, Charles is third, and then Lewis is fourth, and then 2 Red Bulls.
Oh yeah, actually, talking about the crash as well, what do you think? Because Alpine has their eyes on Franco Colapinto from last season. Do you think we have another Liam situation going on?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Any publicity is good publicity. But especially if they're trying to get young audiences in, it's suddenly going to make you want to watch it, isn't it? Because suddenly there's kind of like you can't predict anything.
But Jack is my age, so he's like 22. He's fairly young, but I'm talking about the performance wise, not the publicity wise. So do you think Alpine would have him out just to save on costs, from the crashes? He crashed at Australia as well. I mean, it wasn't like it was the weather, but
speaking about personally crashing a car a lot, you know who I'm talking about, right?
The good number 18. No,
is he number 18? I can't remember. No, it's not Lance.
Oh, Latifi.
Yeah. He crashed. Latifi.
I didn't watch that season. I only watched Sargent because
he crashed a lot. I don't know how they still afford to keep him around.
Yeah, because there's also the financial cost as well. How many cars can they afford? I think he's safe for now, but I think it depends how many more crashes he has before it becomes a little bit more like, okay, you've got to reevaluate performance.
Do you think?
Is it worth it?
Do you think the crashes outweigh the weak performance? Or there's a weak performance that way? Like, if
I think they go hand in hand.
You can't just on one, compare one.
It's the combination of, if it was just one of them, then okay, you can maybe let it slide a little bit, but it's the fact that it's both of them that is putting that kind of position of that risk is being formed.
Oddly overtalking. Ciao! Okay, should we move on to the predictions?
Yeah.
Okay, where do you think Yuki will qualify for his home race? Qualify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yuki.
Oh, qualify.
I would say top 10.
Okay,
Yeah,
so Q3.
It's either. I want to say Q2, but I feel like just Q3 only.
You mean like the last session into? Because Q1, Q2, Q3.
Yeah.
What do you want him to end?
Yeah.
Oh, I would want him to end like top 5,
Yeah,
that would be an ideal position for him, top 5. But I think so, maybe like 7, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, around there.
I think 7, 8 would make more sense based on results previously. But it would be great to see him go
top
higher
5,
as well.
But it's kind of hard to go for top 5. Maybe you see a driver like that.
Actually, Russell.
Both
It's
McLarens,
going to be competitive.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy way to get in.
I like how when we mention competitive, we don't bring up the Ferraris at all.
There's no point at this point.
Yeah.
It's not spoken, just, that.
Michelle?
I'm hoping for top 5 because he did pretty good. Yeah.
I was thinking top 5 but like reconsidering the driver lineup.
7, 8.
Maybe 6 or 7.
Around there.
Top 10.
Nice,
Yeah.
definitely in the 10.
Okay. Right. Is there anything else to wrap up? Or
Be nice to see how the race goes.
Should
Hopefully
we
the weather
just
stays.
do a prediction? Let's throw it out there. Who do you think is going to win this?
win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's out there.
So-
Before the qualifications and stuff.
Second predictions. Who do you think will win the Japanese Grand Prix?
Wait, are you sure predict for the quality?
No, that's different. We're just doing
Okay, this is the actual one.
It's just shoot it out there. It could be anyone. You never know.
Last row. Everyone crashes last row. Sorry. No one crashes.
You just see no one go past,
Yeah.
you just silently hear a chow as it hits the finish line, just like, yes, we go.
Nice.
I'll call Charles Leclerc winning this.
Oh.
Okay.
Charles Leclerc.
Okay.
I think Piastri's got potential to get there.
If
You can see the competitiveness at the moment.
I think if Piastri wins and Norris isn't like right behind him like P2, P3, he would lead the championship because it's still
He will
between within 20 points.
Yeah.
So essentially it's anyone's game.
Yeah, this one is like everyone's so close to each other. Could be anything.
Michelle?
Norris.
Will win. Norris.
Yeah.
So we have
Leclerc.
Norris,
Yeah.
Piastri. I really want to see Yuki win. I know it's not gonna happen.
It would be really nice to see you,
Yeah.
especially with a
If he gets top
race.
3, like if he gets podium, it'd be a really good thing.
Massively, especially for him staying as well.
I mean, we're so optimistic about Yuki, but the fact that you have to remember they will prioritize Max above anything.
Exactly.
Oh, definitely. Whether or not Yuki will listen to that is a different story.
All Max if they want Yuki to be in front.
Yeah.
But which is like not gonna happen. I think it would be good for Yuki, but Piastri. I think he's having a comeback. After Australia.
You can see the confidence building.
Yeah. He had his first pole, right? Last GP. Yeah, it's not hard to have his second, I think. Yeah.
It's definitely doable.
Yeah. Last season, although Norris did qualify him, out-qualify him more than.
I think the two of them are going to place high, the pair of them, which I think is going to definitely make them strong contenders for winning overall. But we'll see whether or not Max is going to have that competitiveness or if he's going to play it safe. That will also determine, I think, the placement as well.
Okay. Anything else? I think that was it. Thank you for listening to us. If you managed to stay throughout this whole duration of
You
this,
survived our rants.
survive our yapping.
Yeah.
Leave a comment. share this video to your friends. Subscribe. I don't think I'll be posting on YouTube. I think I'll be posting onto Instagram.
Okay.
As a separate account, probably. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys.